Hey, Salakia, brothers. It says, I'm gonna keep reading. It says also, few humans will ever escape the cave. You see, only the elect will be able to escape this 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 wicked world, man. All right, this cave, this prison house. Okay, that's what this place is. These chains of darkness, these bodies. The mind is wicked above all things. Who can know it? You know, only a few, which is the elect. Many are called, but few are chosen, man. Right? Also, few humans will ever escape the cave. This is not some easy task. And only a true philosopher with decades of preparation would be able to leave the cave. And the only one that can deliver us is through Yahweh Shai. He's the one that is a true philosopher, a lover of wisdom. He is the epitome of wisdom. So Yahweh Shai, he showed us the way. All right? He paved that way. It says, would be able to leave the cave up to steep incline. Most humans will live at the bottom of the cave, and a small few will be the major artists that project the shadows with the use of human-made light. Okay? But us brothers, we're casting off that true light, man. All right? We're being the children of light, of Yahweh Shai. Okay? The departure from the cave, Plato then supposes that one prisoner is freed. This prisoner would look around and see the fire. The light would hurt his eyes and make it difficult for him to see the objects casting the shadows. If he were told that what he is seeing is real instead of the other version of reality he sees on the wall, he would not believe it. In his pain, Plato continues, the freed prisoner would turn away and run back to what he is accustomed to. That is the shadows of the carried object, he writes. It would hurt his eyes, and that's what's happened. That's what goes on with these 2/3, family members, friends. You know, they're comfortable and they're comfortable to what they're used to. All right, that's their habitual their habit, man. Their habit that they have allowed to attach itself to them. All right, content in that sense, you know. It says that is the shadows of the carried object. He writes, it would hurt his eyes, and he would escape by turning away to the things which he was able to look at, and these he would believe to be clearer than what was being shown to him. Plato continues, suppose that someone should drag him by force up the rough ascent and steep way up, and never stop until he could drag him out into the light of the sun. The prisoner would be angry and in pain, and this would only worsen when the radiant light of the sun overwhelms his eyes and blinds him. You know, it just like what brings to my mind about this was the account of Saul in the book of Acts before his name was changed to Paul, when he was on his way on the road to Damascus to kill the Christians, right, the followers of Yahweh Shai, all right, the Hamashiach. What happened? He was encountered by Yahweh Shai in the heavens by a bright light, and he spoke to him. And what happened to his eyes? He was blinded, man. There were scales upon his eyes for a certain amount of days, right? And also, it's like a casting off of demons, man. You know, it says slowly his eyes adjust to the light of the sun. First, he can only see shadows. Gradually, he can see the reflections of people and things in water, and then later see the people and things themselves. Eventually, he is able to look at the stars and moon at night until finally he can look upon the sun itself. Only after he can look straight at the sun, he is able to reason about it and what it is, right? And that's how a lot of these people are, man. They don't want to use reasoning. They don't want to understand, right? My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's what the allegory of the cave is, man. And check it out. It don't end there. So when he accustoms himself to that, he sees the truth. This is what happened. Return to the cave. It says Plato continues saying that the freed prisoner would think that the world outside the cave was superior to the world he experienced in the cave, and attempt to share this with the prisoners remaining in the cave, attempting to bring them onto the journey he had just endured. You see? So he wanted to go and share this truth with them, man. He wanted to wake them up from that sleepy state, from that state of ignorance, blindness. It says, Salakia, he would bless himself for the change and pity the other prisoners, and would want to bring his fellow cave dwellers out of the cave and into the sunlight. The returning prisoner, whose eyes have been accustomed to the sunlight, would be blind when he re-enters the cave, just as he was when he was first exposed to the sun. The prisoners, according to Plato, would infer from the returning man's blindness that the journey out of the cave had harmed him, and that they should not undertake a similar journey. You see? So they think that he's crazy. He's hurt. He's bugged out. Just like our family, friends, and people out in the world, that's what they think about us. They think that we're devils. They think that we've been deceived, that we're a part of a cult, that we're crazy, you know, that we're delusional, schizophrenic, hallucinant, you know, seeing, you know, all these different things that are bugged out. That's what they're telling him now. It says Plato concludes that the prisoners, if they were able, would therefore reach out and kill anyone who attempted to drag them out of the cave. That's why you leave them alone, man. You leave them alone. You don't continue to show them. You don't reveal your secrets of the Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai to these people anymore, man. They've shown themselves to be enemies. All right. Let's go over here. Let's go to John chapter 1. John chapter 1 verse 5. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. There was a man sent from the Most High, whose name was John, and John was able to see. Right? John the Baptist. The same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. So John, he was delivered out of that state of ignorance, out of that state of blindness, and he was preordained to be a prophet, to bear witness to the truth, to give a testimony of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of the light, of the truth. What is the light? John 17 and 17. It says, sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. Right? Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. Let me see. Yeah, you know, that's Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. I am the way, the truth, and the life. That's what he said. So going back, verse 9, that was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. That's why the Lord said, I'm going to make the foes of your own household. All right? People that your enemies are, you don't have no idea about, those are the ones that are going to end up being your brother, sister, mother, father. You know? Your friend. It says, but as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of the Most High, even to them that believe on his name. Meaning they remain with him. They're endowed with power. They're endowed with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. They're delivered from that state of ignorance, of blindness, which were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of man, but of the Most High. Because it don't mean because you're an Israelite doesn't mean you're going to be saved. You have to be born of the Spirit. Okay? It says, and the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, and the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John bare witness of him, and cried, saying, this was he of whom I spake. He that cometh after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. And of his fullness have all we received in grace, for grace And the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Yahweh Shai Mashiach. No man has seen the Most High any time. The only begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father, he had declared him. See? So John was bearing witness to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, which is that light, the reality, the truth. But there was a lot that rejected it. They couldn't comprehend. Darkness couldn't comprehend them, man. Right? Verse 5, and the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. Right? And that's what they did when you read the allegory of the cave that I just did. When he returned back to the cave, they said that if he would attempted to try to remove them from that state, they would turn around and kill him. What did they do to Yahweh Shai? They killed him. What did they do to the prophets? They killed them. Let's go to Romans. Let's see. This is Romans 11:7. What then? Israel had not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election had obtained it, and the rest were blinded. According as it is written, God hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, unto this day. And David saith, let their table be made a snare and a trap and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their neck always. I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid. But rather through their fall, salvation has come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. Right? So the point is up there at the end of verse 10. All right. So David said, only the elect are going to obtain this, and the rest are going to be blinded, man. The Lord has given them over to this state of blindness, this inability to comprehend and to receive the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we project to them, trying to tell them, wake up. You know? And then David says, let their table be made a snare and a trap. Look, in the allegory of the cave, what was their snare and the trap? Being binded to those chains, being bound to that certain lot that they stood at, looking at the damn wall, not realizing who really looked foolish, man. And a stumbling block, because it's a stumbling block unto them. They thought they were seeing the reality on the wall, those shadows, man. And a recompense unto them. So they're gonna have to be paid. They're gonna have to receive a judgment for that ignorance. Let their eyes be darkened, that they may not see, and bow down their neck always. So you don't pray for these people. You don't hope in these people. Jeremiah, in the book of Jeremiah, tells you that. Pray not for these people. You pray for the brotherhood. You look out for the brotherhood, man. This is Isaiah 25:7, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations. And that's what's happening in a sense, but not to the point where they're going to wake up and all receive Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai as their Lord and Savior, man. All right, the nations aren't finding out who they are. People are slowly having to come to that acknowledgement that they are wicked, and they're going to have to choose one or the other. But the majority are choosing the left-hand side. All right, but that covering cast over all the people, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is lifting, man. You know, primarily over the elect. We're no longer blind, man. We're able to see. You know? This is 1 Corinthians 13. 1 Corinthians chapter 13. And verse 12. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know even as I also am known. So that's how it was. He's like the man that was freed from that cave, from those chains. what happened? He wasn't able to see. He was put through pain. You know, he was having to adjust to the environment, to the elements, right? But then it was face to face with it, man. And then it says, now I know in part, but then shall I know even as I am known. So whatever the Most High reveals to you, that's what you're going to know at the time. And Lord willing, you increase to know more. And he only knew in part. So he had to grow. He had to adventure. He had to venture out. Once he was delivered out of that cave, he had to venture out and experience things. And then he came back when he had experienced and realized and reasoned and analyzed, right, that this was the truth, that this was the reality, that we were living a fabricated reality in this prison. All right, this gross darkness that we had accepted as being the truth. You know, the Lord is going to deliver those that he needs delivered. Salakia, let me see. You know what? Let me bring out. This is the one I can find real quick. The book of Acts, chapter 28, says, Acts 28 and 26, saying, go unto this people and say, hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and not perceive. For the heart of this people is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes have they closed, lest they should hear, or lest they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. You see? We were all in this place, that Gentile state of mind, man, that is of darkness, man. Right? Let me get this one. I know. Let me put this in. It's in the book of Matthew. All right, Matthew 13 and 14. It's the same thing that I read in Acts. It says, and in them is fulfilled the prophecy, of Isaiah, which saith, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing. See, because they're all, just in that state of obscurity, man. They don't want to hear or know the truth. It says, in their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. Right? But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. Right? So we're blessed to be woken up, man. To know this truth. For verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which you see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear, and have not heard them. See? So those are the ones we have to look for. Not the ones that would want to reject it and remain in that state of ignorance and pride and wickedness, as a filthy pig and a filthy dog, a filthy animal, So I'm going to leave it with that. I hope it was edifying for some of you brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All glory and praise and honor goes to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who gave us this truth. And much love and respect to you brothers out there doing the work of sincerity. Stay strong. Till next time, I want to say Shalom.